My dad died in October of 2012. There are three life lessons that I've really taken away from his life. And so even though he's been gone nearly 3 years, I find there's hardly a day that goes by that I don't find myself standing on one of these principles that he taught me. The first one is integrity matters. Over the years, I watched my dad work in the corporate world, and he was given many opportunities to compromise both on a personal and a professional level. One of the things that I always watched with my dad was that he stood his ground and he never compromised. He always took the road of integrity in his dealings. Now, what was interesting is over the 30 years that he worked for his last employer, he went through 4 or 5 different buyouts. And when the musical chairs stopped, my dad was the only one left in that organization. And the reason he was left was because he was the guy people knew they could depend on, because his word was solid. What he said he was going to do is simply what he would do, no compromise. Second thing I learned from my dad was kind of a humorous lesson, and that was on the principle of assumption. My dad used to say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And when he first told me that as a teenager, I kind of went, oh, I can't believe Dad said that. But over the years, I learned the value of that, to not come to hasty judgments, to not make assumptions about people, circumstances, or anything that was put in front of me, but to always take the time to really look at what lies under the surface, what's truly there, not to jump to hasty conclusions. That's something that my dad even shared with my kids, and so we laugh about that all the time. They've learned the value of not making assumptions. The final thing that stands out from my dad comes down to this nameplate. This nameplate sat on my dad's desk all the years of my life. So from a little boy till the time I was a grown man until he retired, this sat on his desk. Expect the best. You see, Dad understood that what you focus on expands. So if you're focused on the negative, if you're focused on what's wrong, you're going to find more of the negative and more of what's wrong. But if you expect the best, no matter how challenging the circumstance may be, you're always going to find the best in that circumstance. You're always going to find the positives. And so that was a guiding force in his life. Expect the best. When he retired, he handed this nameplate off to me, and it actually sits over here on the corner of my desk and guides me day by day. There's not a day goes by that I don't look over at that nameplate and remind myself to expect the best out of this day. Anyway, those are 3 valuable nuggets that I took away from my dad's life. I hope that you find some value in those nuggets as well. If you'd like to connect with me further, the link to my blog is below this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, and hope you have a tremendous day today.